a lot of medical misinformation, a lot of headlines that are truly false and they're propagated. So we wanted to talk a little bit about this, and joining us now is Dr. Melissa Zimdars, Assistant Professor of Communications at Merrimack College in Massachusetts. And I have to ask you this question because even us docs get fooled by these headlines. Even leaders in their fields get misled. How in the world are you ever able to know whether or not it's fake?
So most fake news articles are centered on the article itself. So if you visit the website, usually there's no about us, there's no history, there's no contact information. And so if that's all absent, it's a pretty good indicator that it's a fake news site. Also, if something makes you really angry or grossed out or excited, like human DNA being in a hot dog, it's a good idea to check with other sources because it's probably too fake to be true.
We know news sources out there that are known for propagating these false stories, and you compiled a list of them.
Yeah, I was trying to help my students navigate outright fake websites and then sites that exist in this sort of gray area, which I think is one of the biggest problems that we're not really talking about. These can be sites that report on a medical study, but it's really junk science, the way they frame and sensationalize that information, and then all the way to clickbait and other kinds of news problems.
And by clickbait, we mean, you know, those ads pop up, but they don't look like ads.
They bait you to
They
click.
don't look like ads, yeah.
Yeah.
How would you ever know whether or not it's worth clicking on one of these?
Usually, if you know the source is otherwise reputable, the clickbait might lead to content that's otherwise newsworthy and important. Some other random websites out there, you know, so you might have to go by website name, basically. But that's tricky.
What about when you hit clickbait and your computer starts smoking and all these things pop up? You're like, no, shut it down, shut it down.
I know. All this porn. I'm not looking at that.
Oh, man. So before we let you go, with your students, is there one tip you can give us to help us decipher top line whether a news story may be real or fake?
Well, I actually think the best thing that everyone can do is just to have a healthy media diet, which just means to read as widely as possible. No one should get all of their information from one source. If you read a source and you have a really strong response to it, it's the best thing you can do is just read widely and often.
Well, great words of wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us. I think this is one of the big challenges of this new day and age.
Well, here's an interesting thought, too. When you're randomly on Facebook, like, what is it about us? Why are we clicking on these things? I didn't come to find out if cashews put me in a better mood. I didn't come to this page researching cashews. So what in your brain goes, oh, let me see, let me find out about that hot dog?
Curiosity. It's subliminal thing, the picture, the word, that's a really good point. And they know what it is that's making us click.
Well,
right.
and I think also recognizing at the end of the day, to get people's attention, we need to be sensational. We need to shock.